Cuba is ready to fall. And India also is falling. Mexico has to get their act together. We need Greenland.
American President Donald Trump's second term is boiling over with foreign policy ambitions. After carrying out his threats against Venezuela in a dramatic manner, Trump has now turned his attention toward other countries in South America. But the story took an interesting turn when, instead of being intimidated by Trump's direct threats, the presidents of Cuba, Colombia, and Mexico began responding to him in the very same language. In this video, we'll tell you about why Donald Trump's second term foreign policy has suddenly put South America on edge, how his dramatic military action in Venezuela triggered sharp and fearless responses from countries like Colombia and Cuba, and whether this escalating tension points toward real military confrontation or is simply high-stakes pressure politics being played from Washington. I want to give a big thanks to our sponsor, Ion Infotech. They are not just any tech company. They are our digital partner here at Sutra Network, helping us bring you the content that often gets overlooked by the media but really matters. Ion Infotech is all about the digital future. They specialize in AI, app development, and yes, even game app development. They use their unique 4D model, discovery, design, development, and deployment to ensure every project is a success. And in today's world, every business needs a strong digital presence. They are the ones who can help you move beyond traditional marketing and get your business visible on modern platforms like Gemini, ChatGPT, and all those new AI search and source hubs. So if you are looking to bring your digital project to life and really stand out online, definitely check them out. And remember, by supporting them, you are supporting us. Hit the link in the description, mention Sutra Network, and you will get a little extra perk. To know more, visit ioninfotech.com. Now let's get back to the video. Trump's second term has gone global overnight. US forces launched dramatic operation in Venezuela, detaining the president and his wife in Caracas, sending shockwaves across South America, region-wide fear. After this action, the assumption was obvious. Trump wanted fear to spread among America's adversaries, especially in South America, a region where the US has historically used military power to enforce its will. The expectation was that neighboring countries would fall silent, rethink their positions and step back. But that didn't happen. Instead of fear, something unexpected emerged: defiance. Almost immediately after Venezuela, Trump's focus shifted to other South American nations. According to signals coming from Washington, Colombia and Cuba were now at the very top of Trump's target list. Trump openly indicated that if these countries failed to address American objections, the United States would not remain quiet. The implication was unmistakable. Military action was a possibility. Then came the twist in the story. Rather than retreating or issuing diplomatic statements, the presidents of Colombia, Cuba, and even Mexico began responding to Trump in the same sharp language. For the first time, Trump's threats were being met not with silence but with open challenge. The strongest response came from Colombia. President Gustavo Petro dismissed Trump's remarks outright, calling them nothing more than cowardly threats. Addressing Donald Trump directly, Petro issued a statement that stunned observers across the world. He said, "If you have the courage, come. I'm right here waiting." This challenge didn't come out of nowhere. It was a direct response to Trump's comments after the Venezuela operation. Trump had accused Colombia of being run by a sick leader who supplies cocaine to the United States. He went even further, saying that a military operation against Colombia might actually be a good idea. Those words sent shockwaves through Bogota. Following Trump's remarks, Colombia's capital entered a state of political alert. The military was instructed to remain prepared for any situation. President Pedro's security was increased. Colombia wasn't taking the threat lightly. And then Petro spoke again. He warned that if the United States attacked Colombia, the situation would spiral out of control. He said such an action could force the country to take up arms, triggering a large scale guerrilla conflict. Petro warned that if any attempt were made to arrest a popular president, public anger would erupt like a jaguar unleashed. This was not a symbolic language, this was a warning. Petro also reminded the world of his own past. Once a left wing guerrilla himself, he said he had sworn decades ago to abandon armed struggle, but he made it clear that if Colombia's sovereignty were threatened, he would be prepared for confrontation once again. In simple terms, Petro told Trump that Colombia would fight back. But Trump even said that with sanctions tightening, Cuba's already sick economy would collapse further and that Cuba was preparing to fall. Cuba's response was immediate. President Miguel Diaz-Canel warned that the mountains, forests, and seas of Cuba were filled with citizens ready to fight the United States. He made it clear that if America made even the slightest move, Cuba would respond with overwhelming force. Cuba's reaction is rooted in history. Since 1959, US-Cuba relations have been hostile, following Fidel Castro's rise and his alliance with the Soviet Union. Washington made multiple failed attempts to remove him, with tensions peaking during the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. Ever since, both nations have remained locked in conflict, with the US accusing Cuba of anti-American activities and Havana openly defying Washington. Today, that decades-old hostility is once again in the spotlight. What is clear now is this: Colombia and Cuba have refused to bow to Trump's threats. They are prepared to go to any extent to defend their sovereignty. At last, let's be clear about one thing. What Donald Trump did in Venezuela may look bold to his supporters, but on the international stage, it raises serious questions. Detaining a sitting president through military force is not strong diplomacy. It's a violation of sovereignty and international norms. For a leader who claims to respect law and order, Trump's action places America on shaky moral ground. History shows that bullying nations rarely creates obedience, it creates resistance. And South America is now responding. What remains unclear is Trump's next move. Is this pressure politics meant to force submission? Or is the world witnessing the early signs of dangerous escalation in America? For now, one thing is certain: Trump has drawn a line. South America has pushed back, and the world's eyes are firmly fixed on Washington because the next move could change everything. Where many news channels are caught up in noise and agendas, Sutra Network stands firmly with facts and truth. We don't chase sensationalism, we show reality. If you believe in honest journalism, join us for truth, for change. And if you have a story that needs to reach the people, click the link below and share it with us. For more information, read our article on this. Link is mentioned in the description.